Welcome to the Prosperity Circle. We are going to kick things off with clear goals and clear intentions. It is frequently said that you cannot get to where you want to be if you do not know where you are going. This is one of the foundational principles that we are going to be addressing in this first video. Now, perhaps you've gone through other manifestation trainings and you've heard about the importance of specificity. My philosophy on this is a little bit different because it's a little bit more nuanced, meaning there are times for specificity and there are times where we're not ready for the specifics. As we kick off this initial goal setting process, I want you to be mindful of the fact that some of your desires may seem a little bit vague in the beginning, but as we go through this journey, those things that once were perhaps a little bit more unclear really start to solidify, and those specific details begin to come into your conscious awareness. You gain more and more and more clarity, and sometimes the universe surprises and delights you with circumstances, events, things that you may not have been able to conjure up in your consciousness on your own. And that has a tendency to clarify further other elements of your prosperity journey. So, what I'm going to encourage you to do is have a notebook handy or a legal pad or just some type of paper. A notebook is great because now you have a dedicated tool that you can consistently reach for and use throughout your prosperity journey process. This is not something that is a do it one time type of exercise. This is really a process that you can embrace and you can use throughout your entire life to continue growing and expanding and creating more abundance, more prosperity for yourself. There's no end to the up-leveling. That's not coming from a lack-based perspective. To the contrary, we're coming from an abundance perspective. Nothing rests, nothing stays the same. You may have heard you're either growing or you're dying. It's a little bit of a morbid way of looking at it, but what you have to understand is one of the laws of the universe is this cyclical nature of life. That's why you see everywhere, in everything, the cycles, the seasons, the birth and the death, the creation and the destruction. You're not going to live forever in this body. You may live forever as a soul, but as far as this life is concerned, we recognize that there are things that are going to change. So let's make that change as expansive and beautiful and wonderful as it possibly can be. Now, when we go through this clarifying goal setting exercise, I'm going to plant a seed in your subconscious mind right here, right now. Be aware of those desires that maybe you've been repressing. There are desires in our heart that oftentimes we will not fully and completely embrace and acknowledge. We have limiting beliefs that we can't have it, or we shouldn't want it, or whatever. I'm going to encourage you to listen to that inner voice. Feel within your heart, what are my most genuine desires? So as we begin this process, you're going to take your paper and your pen or pencil, and I want you to just write down, just start to let it all out. This is not going to be a polished list yet. Write down all the things that come to mind, all the things that you desire for your life, both financial as well as in all areas of your life, all areas. Could be business desires, business goals. It could be family desires, family goals. It could be health or body desires, body goals, including, obviously, financial. We're saying yes to more prosperity. Prosperity is your divine nature. When you are in alignment with yourself, all of your needs are provided for you. And there's so much more that is possible for you if you would actually get yourself into alignment with them. That's what the prosperity circle is all about. So you're now going to take a couple minutes, as much as you need. You're going to pause this video and you're going to grab your notebook or your paper and your pen. And I want you to just start to write down, what are all of your most sincere, truest heart's desires? Do not omit anything. If you feel a little nagging sense like, oh, I don't think I should want that. That goes against my religious upbringing. That goes against the beliefs that I have about being a good person. I want you to do your best to write it down with the intention that I can get clear within myself on my divine guidance. And that if there is a sincere desire in my heart, then that is a divine desire. And if for some reason I'm mistaken and this is not a divine desire, I will gain clarity as I go through this process. We're not setting anything in stone. We're just beginning to get the energy flowing. So pause this video right here, do this exercise, and then when you come back, we are going to go into the next stage, which is beginning to refine some of those desires or goals, whichever you prefer, whichever statement you prefer to use. And I'm going to give you sort of the next steps with respect to how are you going to now make this into a daily ritual, a daily practice that starts to program your mind and get you mentally, emotionally, vibrationally aligned with those desires. Okay, so pause here and go do your activity. Okay, now I'm hoping that you paused and you didn't just sit with me for a moment while I paused because you wanted to hear the next step and think to yourself, oh, I don't need to do this. This exercise that I just gave you is really powerful. If you did it, you probably realized that you are clear on some of your desires and you actually haven't been fully and completely honest with yourself about some of what your heart desires. You may notice that you could feel when you keyed into a limiting belief, because as you were writing those goals and desires down, you actually felt some resistance, some discomfort, some doubt, some fear even. We are going to address those things. We may do some of that in the weekly calls. This is where I really want you to also utilize the resources within your Business Mastery Academy membership, especially inside of the Mindset Vault. There are going to be processes that are going to help you to identify what some of those limiting beliefs are. But more importantly, when you know what those limiting beliefs are, what do you do with them? The Academy is going to teach you step-by-step processes to clear away those old false limiting beliefs. The more you clear away your internal obstacles to what you desire, the easier it is for the universe to make those desires your manifested reality. Now, the next stage in this process is going to be your daily practice. This is an evolutionary process, meaning, unlike some of the trainings where you may have read or heard that you're just supposed to write the same goal down over and over and over and over and over and over again, I want you to be mindful that as you are evolving, as you are becoming more aligned with your prosperity, you may realize that your goals are sort of morphing and changing a little bit. That's that clarity we were talking about before. So you're going to start with wherever you are here, now, today. Meaning, if you look at that list that you just went through, now on a new clean sheet of paper, you're going to start to write down those goals, those desires in a more summarized fashion. Now, as you do this, just be mindful of a couple of things. One is, it's okay in the beginning to write down, I would love to have, or my goal is, okay? But as we get a little bit further into this, I want you to notice that the closer you are in alignment mentally, emotionally, and vibrationally with the goal, the terminology begins to shift from projecting the goal out there to embodying it as your reality right here, right now. So you begin to shift into different wording, like I am the owner of a successful marketing agency. I am running a 8-figure business. You see? What we've done there is we begin to identify with the goal. We begin to become the one who has that desired outcome. So I want you now to play with this a little bit. And on your paper, I want you to take those goals that really stand out, the ones that you know in your heart. These feel like true desires, true desires. And I want you to make your list. You're going to write these things down on a sheet of paper and notice that it starts to feel really good when you think to yourself, I'm going to release my limiting beliefs on these things. I'm going to align with my divine desire. These are the things that God wants to experience through me. Now, you don't have to use the word God. You can use any word that feels resonant with you. If you consider yourself spiritual and not religious, you may not care for the word God. Choose the word source, creator, universe. It doesn't matter to me, and it doesn't matter to the source of all creation what word you use. What matters is, does it resonate? Does it feel good to you? So for all of my Jewish friends, you may use Hashem. For my Christian friends, you may use the word God. For my spiritual friends, you may use universe, creator, or source. Whatever you feel good with. Remember, that desire, that genuine, heartfelt desire is that creative force, that divinity within each and every one of us seeking to experience that experience wants to be felt and had through you, or you would not feel it. Now, you might still doubt that a little bit. We're going to clean that up, okay? Those are oftentimes beliefs that are put into us early on about a God that maybe is not so generous, not so kind. Maybe you didn't get your way when you were younger and you concluded that you couldn't have what you wanted. Maybe you're afraid to dream big because you believe that it can't happen. We're going to clean that stuff up. But for now, just do your best to write out those goals in a way that when you write them out, when you read them back to yourself, it feels good. And we are going to then every single day go through this goal writing process. Now, that feels daunting. I want you to remember that anything that feels good is not daunting. So if you're really truly doing this right, and it really truly is programming your mind, and it really truly is helping you to be fully in alignment and congruent with the prosperity that your heart desires, is that daunting? Hell no, it's not. So when can you fit this into your oh so busy schedule? Is it in the morning? Is it before bed? Is it in the morning and before bed? Even better. But at least once per day, at least one time per day, find something that works well for you. And at least one time each and every day, I want you to commit to yourself. Put it on your calendar if you need to, set a reminder on your phone if you need to, put it into some kind of ritualistic routine, like after I brush my teeth in the morning, or as soon as the alarm goes off, I've got my notebook right next to my bed. So convenient. And I'm going to start my day right. Okay. Play with it. If one of the ways that you embarked on doesn't feel like the right strategy for you, then reconfigure it. Okay. There's not one right way, it's your right way. And your job is to allow yourself to enjoy this process and find the right ways for you. We're going to get into the visualization aspect in another video. For now, because we don't want to overwhelm you, this is where you're going to start. This is going to be your first commitment. Make sure that you are going into the community section of the Academy so that you're keeping track of when our next live call is. The other thing I want you to remember is, as a member of the Academy, you have other live calls that you also have access to. Participate in as much as you want. Enjoy the abundance that's available to you. Thrive with all of the support that is available to you within the mindset section of the Academy, within the business section of the Academy, with our live calls. There is so much support for you, so much. So if this is the first time that you've ever indulged in truly being supported, so be it. Make it normal, okay? If you already have a lot of self-love, then this is going to be incredibly easy for you. It is not about overwhelming you. It is about trusting your own inner guidance to utilize the support that is right and good for you. So I'm going to conclude this video. Go ahead and do your next section of this process, which is writing down those goals, and get clear on when you intend to do it tomorrow and the following day. This is a daily practice that is setting you up for success. I'll see you in another video.